Cabinet Secretaries, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Chief Qadi, chairpersons of committees, honorable members of Parliament and Senate, the CEO of Premier Bank, the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is with immense gratitude and joy that I stand before you today to extend a heartfelt invitation to the second parliamentary evening dedicated to unity, reflection, and the strengthening of our collective bonds. Tonight, we gather not only to break our fast, but to reaffirm our shared commitment to service, humility, and faith. As we traverse this blessed month of Ramadan, we are reminded of its profound teachings of patience in adversity, sacrifice for greater cause, and gratitude for both seen and unseen blessings, and generosity towards others. The Quran beautifully captures the spirit, and they give food despite the love for it to the needy, the orphan, and the captive. This is Surah Al-Insan. This verse calls us to embody selflessness and compassion in our roles as leaders. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the leadership of Parliament for appointing me as the chair for this important event. Special thanks to the Speaker of the National Assembly for his unwavering support in facilitating this iftar event, together with his counterpart, the Speaker of the Senate. Their leadership have consistently fostered an environment of inclusivity and unity within this House. As reflects on our roles as leaders, let us remember that true leadership is not defined by power, but by service. As the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ wisely stated, the leader of a people is their servant. I also extend my deepest gratitude to the Clerk of the National Assembly for his commendable initiative in accommodating the needs of our Muslim community by establishing a large prayer room within Parliament. This thoughtful gesture reflects our institution's commitment to inclusivity and respect for religious diversity, principles that strengthen our national fabric. And indeed, diversity is not a challenge, but it is a blessing that enriches us all. We are also privileged to have Premier Bank as one of our esteemed sponsors this evening. Their generosity embodies the spirit of Ramadan, the act of giving without expectation. As we acknowledge their contribution, let us reflect on how we can emulate such generosity in our own life as leaders tasked with uplifting our communities. Tonight's iftar is more than just a meal. It is a moment of reflection, a chance for us to pause amid our busy schedules and renew our commitment to serve with sincerity and justice. Leadership is not merely about policies or decisions, it is about touching lives and inspiring hope. As we share this evening, breaking bread and exchanging laughter, let us draw inspiration from one another's strength and recommit ourselves to building bridges where there may be walls. The unity we foster here tonight should serve as a beacon for all those we represent across Kenya. In conclusion, I pray that this gathering brings barakah, or blessings, into our lives. May it strengthen bonds as colleagues and friends while inspiring us to lead with wisdom and compassion. As Allah reminds us in the Quran, hold firmly to the rope of Allah, all together, and do not become divided. This is Surah Al-Imran. Let this verse guide us as we strive for unity in diversity. Karibuni sana, dear brothers and sisters, and may Allah accept our fast, prayers, and good deeds during this blessed month of Ramadan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. And at this juncture, allow me, Mr. Speaker, sir, to invite our guests who are lined up for giving some brief remarks, as we are supposed to leave here by 8, if possible. May I ask the first speaker, who is Mr. Osman Duale, the CEO of Premier Bank, to come and give his brief remarks. Brother Duale, 2 minutes only.
Thank you very much. A Right Honourable Speaker of the National Assembly, a Right Honourable Speaker of the Senate, Cabinet Secretaries present, distinguished members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Honourable Members of Parliament, the Permanent Secretaries, our able clerks of both houses, our Chief Qadi, board directors and staff of Premier Bank present, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a happy iftar. It's indeed a privilege to share this iftar with you tonight. This moment is not just breaking fast, it's about strengthening our bonds as a community, reflecting on our responsibilities as leaders and reaffirming our commitment to economic empowerment. Honourable Members of Parliament, we as Premier Bank, Kenya Limited, recognize that in addition to your cardinal roles of representation, lawmaking and oversight, you're also the custodians of the economic future of Kenya through the various decisions you make that significantly shape the financial welfare of Kenyans and its corporate citizens. As a consequential institution with wide networks that also shapes the policy and legislative outcomes, we see unprecedented partnership opportunities in the National Parliament through such interactions. Premier Bank's customer-centric approaches, backed by strong ethical and banking values, makes us the right partner to collaborate with distinguished leaders like yourselves and the diverse constituencies you serve. In the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah commands us to engage in trade that is lawful and ethical, and this is the foundation upon which Premier Bank was built. We're here to provide progressive Sharia-compliant banking solutions that empower our people while staying true to our faith and values. Honorable members and distinguished guests, we can achieve all this together through a partnership for progress and highlighting some of our key services and values. I'll run very fast in the interest of time. Please bear. Yeah, it's okay. Number one, championing ethical banking. Number two, economic empowerment through corporate social responsibility. Number three, women and youth empowerment. Number four, strengthening business and trade. As the government continues to address key structural and economic rigidities through prudent policies and opening new growth frontiers through investments in key sectors such as roads, energy, water, housing, education, and digital economy, our strength in business and trade remains key pillars you can leverage for effective partnership. Let tonight be the beginning of a strong partnership. And finally, the Right Honourable Speaker will remain steadfast in supporting Parliament and its fraternity with the best banking and advisory solutions. Together we can ensure that our people have access to financial solutions that protect their wealth, align with their values, and secure their future. May this Ramadan be a time of reflection, renewed purpose, and new beginning for us all. Ramadan Kareem, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I would request that this speech be produced in our magazine so that list members can access it. Otherwise, we're now inviting the Chief Qadi. Please, we are asking for only 2 minutes. Please, let's try to stick to 2 minutes. Chief Qadi. The Speaker of the Senate has a function elsewhere, and he has requested that he takes precedence. Welcome, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. My brother, Speaker of the National Assembly, the Honorable Moses Wetangula, Waheshimiwa wanadiplomasia, ndugu zangu, assalamu alaikum. There is a quote that I always use in such gatherings, and it is by Chinua Achebe in his most celebrated novel, Things Fall Apart. Chinua Achebe says this, that a man doesn't invite his kinsmen to a feast to save them from starvation because they have enough food in their homes. We do not gather in the moonlit village ground because of the moon, because every man can see it from their compound. But we gather together because it is good to do so. Now, I and my brother did not invite you to this iftar dinner to save you from starvation. I know you have so much food, in fact, maybe better quality than what we've given you. But we've done this because we want to commune, we want to share and bond as leaders and as brothers. And therefore, this evening is an evening as we break bread, we also commune, we reflect, and we sharpen our resolve going forward. This is a very significant month to our Muslim brothers and sisters, and all that we can pray is that may God grant you your wishes as you observe the holy month of Ramadan. I have a flight to catch to Mombasa. My flight is at 8:55, and that's why I sought to speak before I had to break the protocol so that I be allowed to rush to the airport and catch my flight. Kwa hivyo nawaomba kwa ukarimu munipatie ruksa nikimbie kule airport. Otherwise, Ramadan Kareem. Asanteni sana.
Ramadan Mubarak. Shukran, ndugu. Now, may I invite the Chief Qadi to give some greetings, I would say.
The speakers of the national parliaments, CS is present, honorable members of parliament present, the diplomatic corps, all protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thanawlillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a great pleasure for us to be present here in this inaugural iftar of the parliamentary national parliament. We are hoping that it will continue. We wish to extend to appreciate and to give our appreciation to the right honorable speakers of the parliament for conceiving this project and having present today the Muslim leadership in parliament and other organs and other organizations. To us Muslims, the Ramadan is has a lot of special significance to the individual, but also significance to the leadership. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the very famous verse cited during this period يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Or you who believe, it is decreed upon you Ramadan fast as it was decreed upon those before you, so that you attain righteousness. So it is a measure, the essence and the objective of the fasting is to attain righteousness, and that is to bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the pillars of Islam have a reason behind it, a rationale. And the rationale in this one, especially for the leadership, I would say, is so that they come down to earth. They appreciate what their people they are leading go through, the challenges they are facing, and to be able to solve those problems. In Islam, the privileged might not feel the hardships of the less privileged. During this particular period, all the people are the same. The privileged, the underprivileged, they feel the same hunger, they go through the same challenges, and that keeps them at par. Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam was told, why do you keep on fasting? And he says, so that I don't forget. I don't forget the challenges that the poor go through, that they cannot afford a meal a day, they cannot afford health care. So my challenge and my call upon the honorable MPs and the honorable CSs is to make it particular in their programs, and that the legislative agendas are people-centered, are people-focused, so that they can be able to help alleviate the problems bedeviling our people, especially in health sector, in education, and everything. I am happy to have the Muslims MPs in Kwale. I want to recognize in Mombasa and Nairobi going through even a step further to create and empower people in affordable marriages, and I want the other members also to continue in that one. This is a month of victory. So many victories were attained in Islam during this particular period, and we can attain so many victories in our nation by focusing on the challenges and going through them. We wish you a happy Ramadan with these few remarks. Assalamu Makbul Ramadan Mubarak.
Shukran, Jazakumullah khair, for adhering to the 2 minutes. Now, I have the privilege of inviting Honorable Aden Duale, the CS for Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, on behalf of the executive. Tafadhal ya.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Mr. Speaker, the entire leadership of Parliament, led by the majority leader of the Senate and the minority leader of the National Assembly, the Chief Qadi, our brothers, the diplomats from the Muslim countries, my colleagues, former colleagues, members of Parliament, Muslim leaders present. I will not say much. Just to say that, Mr. Speaker, last year you took us to Serena. It was very squeezy. So I think from last year you realized you need to do better. And I'm very happy, one of your legacy, every speaker, because I have served with many speakers, every speaker leaves a mark and a legacy. Speaker Kingi and Speaker Wetangula will be remembered among many other things, the many communications they give every day, for recognizing the month of Ramadan, and I'm told now you have put it into the calendar of Parliament. So thank you very much. Secondly, I have seen many of our Christian brothers in the leadership who are even wearing the Islamic dress better than us. the Honorable Senior Leader, Majority Leader in the Senate, the Whip of the National Assembly, of course, my Speaker. I really want to ask, this is a month of peace, the month of unity, is a month of prayers, is a month of charity. And I really want to ask on behalf of my colleague Waziri Hassan Ali Joho and the many people from the executive, the PSS, ask our leaders who are here tonight, let us please support the call of the unity of our nation, regardless of where we come from, regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of the religion we profess. Let's have one country. Kenya is known for religious tolerance. When our brothers, the Christians, have their functions, we attend. When our Muslim brothers, for those Christians who have come here tonight, this is the Kenya we want to build, and let us support the President in his call of the unity of the nation, regardless of what religion we profess. Thank you very much. May all Allah bless us in this holy month of Ramadan.
May I remind you that this iftar is a 3-course menu, so enjoy the other delicacies which are actually on the side. We recognize the presence of SUPKEM leaders led by Brother Abdullah Hassan Leonardo. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. May I call upon Waziri Hassan Joe just to say Assalamu alaikum and a word of good wishes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah alladhi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inu wa na'udhu bika min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina wa ba'd. Mheshimiwa Spika, na viongozi, sikuwa nimejipanga kuzungumza, lakini nimekuja hapa kwa capacity mbili. Ya kwanza kama executive, ya pili as a former member of parliament. Kuna watu wengi hawajui kama nilikuwa ibunge. But I was here, and Adan and yourself, in fact, Speaker, you mentored me a lot in the corridors of Parliament and how parliamentary business is handled. What both of you, the two speakers, have done is to demonstrate what inclusion really means for all of us. And I am happy that you've opted to actually diarize this date. It's part of the calendar of Parliament, and that's very critical for our agenda on inclusion. So mine is just to say thank you, and I'm grateful for the invite, and I wish you all Saum Makbul and Ramadan Mubarak.
May I request the representative of the Council of Governor, Governor of Wajir, to come and say Salam Alaikum.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. The Right Honorable Speaker, invited guests, honorable members of Parliament, mine is very short. Mr. Speaker, what you're doing is really a manifestation of appreciation of our diversity in this country, that you are concerned with the welfare of the Muslim members of Parliament. We saw also you launched or officially opened a new prayer room today, which is more spacious. This is quite commendable. I just want to say, because of the fact that we have to rush for Tarawih as well, Ramadan Mubarak, so Makbul, please let us remember Kenya in our prayers. Jazakallah.
Now we are going to the leadership of the National Assembly and Senate. And may I request the Planning Committee to prepare after Honorable Junaid speaks. We would like you just to to be seen so that at least they know who is behind all this organization. Just get prepared. Honorable Junaid Mohammed, you are my leader. I cannot tell you 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, Mheshimiwa Speaker, Chief Qadi, judges of the courts, na wageni wote, assalamu alaikum. Mheshimiwa Speaker, nachukua nafasi hii kukaribisha wageni wote katika sherehe hii ya bunge ya Ramadan ya iftar, hasa sana upande hii ya bunge ambaye ofisi zetu za minority ama opposition zinakaa. Sijui kwa nini waliweka ofisi ya minority karibu na museum ya Kenyatta, lakini tuko hapa tunaishi na yeye. Na Mheshimiwa Speaker, ningependa kusema ya kwamba hii sherehe tunaishi na mzee hapa. Sasa ningependa kusema ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Speaker, hii ni sherehe ambaye tumeshukuru wewe sana kama Waislamu ambaye wako katika bunge. Hii jambo la kusherekea ilianzishwa wakati wako kama Speaker. Mimi nimekuwa hapa kwa muda sasa. Bunge zilizopita tukukuwa na sherehe kama hizi, na tunakushukuru sana wewe na clerk wako kwa kazi nzuri ambayo mmefanya na kwa kuonyesha ya kwamba Waislamu are part and parcel of this institution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you know, Parliament is one of the institutions that has the largest diversity. You find in Parliament all kind of people, Mr. Speaker. You find all shades of people, Mr. Speaker. You find all people, whether you've gone to school or you have not gone to school, whether your work was which type before you came here, they are all here, Mr. Speaker. That is why they say there is no qualification to become a member of Parliament. And that's why the Salary and Remuneration Commission has refused. They said there is no qualification that is known for a member of Parliament. We don't know how to tell you what your salary is. So, Mr. Speaker, we are very grateful because this is also an annual event now. We normally attend the prayer breakfast every year in the month of, I think, May at Safari Park Hotel. But in those prayers, Mr. Speaker, one of the organizers are here. You know, we have more hymns and more songs than the Muslim prayer. So sometimes I feel I sit aside only eating. I don't feel my God inside me sometimes. But today, I am feeling that the Parliament has taken bold steps to make sure that Muslims are celebrated and they are recognized as part of this institution, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the month of Ramadan, and this is the month that we ask for Tawbah, for forgiveness, Mr. Speaker. This is the most important month in the calendar of the Islamic calendar, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether politicians, you can still fast and you remain politician, Mr. Speaker. Sometimes when you're on the floor of the house, what you say, and you are fasting, only God knows. May God give us tawbah for those Muslims I know who are together with us in the Parliament. Mr. Speaker, when they retire, they must continue fasting seriously. Because this one of theirs, only God knows whether it is accepted or not. But I pray that it is accepted. I want to request members of the National Assembly to stand up so that you can be recognized. Even former members of Parliament, I've seen former Senator Honorable Below Kero is here, can stand up. We have former Majority Leader here, Aden Duale, former Member of Parliament for Kisauni, Hassan Ali Joho, na kadhalika. So you can sit, please. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this country of ours has remained together, Mr. Speaker, because of the diversity, because we celebrate our diversity. I have never felt in this Parliament, Mr. Speaker, segregated based on my religion or anything, Mr. Speaker. So we should remain that way because that is how our country will remain stable. I wish to recognize also in a special way a judge here who was my teacher. He's called Muhammad Nur Kulo. He taught me in school, Mr. Speaker. This small English I'm talking here is his. I borrowed from him, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker is here. Thank you, Your Justice. So I want to say asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki. This is where we stay. This is where we operate from. This is our kiwanja. Karibuni sana, asanteni sana.
You know, Junet's speech is always one of its own kind. Thank you very much, Honorable Junet. Now we invite Honorable Aaron Cheriot to come and give his greetings. Welcome.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly and the Chairperson of PSC, the Chief Kadhi, colleague leaders, judges of our courts who are here with us, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and everybody else who has joined us for this dinner, Iftar dinner. I greet you all, Assalamu alaikum. Good. This looks lovely. And Speaker, I must really commend you, together with the PSC. I've seen when Akina Junet come here, they recognize only their clerk. Let me educate you a little bit. Your clerk has no powers to sign any money. It is the clerk of the Senate. So I want to recognize the clerk and the man who has the power to sign useful things. Jeremiah Nyegenya, can you wave so that Junet sees you? Yeah, Junet, that is the man you appreciate. No hard feelings, Joroge. Joroge is my friend. He knows, yeah, our other clerk. But I really want to appreciate PSC for the good work that you guys have done. Last year, we were really squeezed somewhere. But today now we feel that this is the stature of Parliament. And I must really appreciate that our Muslim brothers and sisters feel honored and being part and parcel of Parliament, that when they have such a solemn month such as this, that their institution where they work appreciates that the prayers they are offering are for the good of the country, for the good of the institution where they serve. So I want to say thank you so much, PSC and the leadership of Parliament that have taken the initiative and to ensure that this remains a tradition of Parliament for as long as we are here. I don't want to say more than that. The last thing that I want to do is to recognize senators that are here. Our Speaker has just left. He explained why he had to leave. And I want to believe, I had seen a couple of senators. Senator Ledamo Lekina. No, let's stand so that we recognize. That's a whip. And Senator Fonarok, Senator Ledamo Lekina. Asante. He's dressed very differently. I'm told, Junet has just told him that in other parts of the world, that dressing is for crown princes. But in Kenya, it is for livestock traders. So, and he appreciates because he's Maasai. That's Asante. Behind there is Senator Miraj. Miraj comes from Mombasa County. That's Senator Shakila. She comes from Lamu County. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.
Now the planning committee, please. Just come forward so that at least the team from Parliament also, the staff. Wapi Abdurrahman, Gorod, and the others. Just come forward, please. One thing that you have not done properly is you never bought a council for Nyegenye. You bought one for the clerk of the National Assembly, but you forgot Nyegenye. Next time, make sure. Okay. Okay, I think these are the ladies and gentlemen who worked tirelessly to make this event a success. Shukran, jazakumullah khair. Shukran. Thank you. They worked tirelessly and they made sure everything was according to the expectation. Now, may I take this greatest opportunity to invite our beloved Speaker of the National Assembly, the most Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula, known as Papa or Roma. Karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana, ndugu Speaker. This is your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Ramadan Karim, Ramadan Mubarak. Saum Makbul. Assalamu alaikum. I will be very brief. I'm delighted to be here among our Muslim brethren, sitting at the high table. And if clothing was to define a Muslim, the most Islamic looking characters here this evening are Ledamo Lekina, Aaron Cheriot, Osoro, and my clerk Njoroge. And all of them are far from Islam. And of course, Tongo, you're here. The chairman of the planning committee, our clerks of both houses, Your Excellencies, members from various missions, our judges from the High Court and Court of Appeal. I want to single out my sister and former classmate in the class of 81, Fatuma Sichale, Judge of Appeal. We always call ourselves the class because out of our class of 45, more than 28 have served as judges in this country. We have a judge in the Supreme Court, in the Court of Appeal, many in the High Court. I'm very proud of you, Fatuma. Judge Jamila, nashukuru sana. I expected my friend Judge Warsame. I don't see him. He's out of the country. My friends and brothers Adan Duale and Hassan Joho, who when he came here became my political student, and I showed him how to be a good parliamentarian. Members of both houses, our staff, the Chief Qadi and the SUPKEM team, we are happy to be here with you to join you in celebrating the month of sacrifice, the month of prayer, the month of remembrance, the month where we deny ourselves many worldly temptations and pay maximum attention to God. As Muslim brothers and sisters, you know last year we invited you to an iftar in Serena Hotel, and after we finished the iftar, instead of Adan Duale telling me thank you, he said, don't bring us here again. Because we were many in a small room and we were very crowded. So this time round, we decided to invite you to the grounds of Parliament. This is the centerpiece of our nation, where everybody meets and is a great equalizer for Kenyans. As Junaid said, qualifications of coming to this house are varied. We have professors and we have people with little education but great representatives of their people. And I always say, if fishermen on the shores of the lake choose one of them to come here and represent them, that is their choice. If stock traders send here one of them of their own, that is their choice. Because this is a house of the people of Kenya. And we come here united as one, walking in the shadow and the fear of God at all times, knowing very well that our Constitution 2010 acknowledges the supremacy of God as the foundation of this nation. So whenever we gather together, the Bible says, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, God is in their midst. So as we stand here today, we want to thank our Muslim brothers And this time around, it has coincided with the Christians as well. As Christians are observing Lent, our Muslim brothers and sisters are observing Ramadan. So this is an exceptionally holy period for this country. And I want to encourage us, as Kenyans, there is no single country in the world without challenges. Politics itself is competition. And when you compete, there are always times when you rough shoulder each other, you say words to each other that are not supposed to be said, but at the end of the day, we withdraw to reflect and think and focus, knowing we have no spare country. We have only one country called Kenya. And this country, its custodians are all of us. Everybody has a cardinal duty to ensure that the weak are protected, the strong behave responsibly to hold our country together. And as Parliament, we want to assure Kenyans that we are going to live to our billing. We are going to continue passing laws that take our country to the next level. As I finished listening to some great inspirational speaker from the US, and he was saying, when you look around the country and reflect back the last 200 years, great transformations have been made. China was a backward-looking country, now is on the table of the first world. Vietnam was bombed to ashes, now is one of the mega economies of Asia. Europe went through many primitive wars, wrongly described as world wars, when they were in fact European wars. They have come to where they are. America was a settler nation. Look at where it is. And he said, the only country, the only continent that has not transformed to date is Africa. He said, you look at Yugoslavia, they went through turmoil, and the world allowed it to break into 7 independent states, sitting in the European Union, sitting in the UN. In Africa, since the scramble and partition of our continent in Berlin, chaired by Bismarck in 1886, and the subsequent balkanization of our continent, even where countries are recording very handsome GDP growth, there is no social transformation. Very little. Look at Congo and many others. So I want to urge us, as the generation of today, our principal focus should be on social transformation of our continent. Spring people from abject poverty to change middle class and rich levels. That's what I pray for this continent. That in our lifetime, Adam Duale, we should live to stop quoting Malaysia as having been with us in 1960 and be above Malaysia. That is my dream. And that dream will be realized by yourselves. Rome was not built in a day, but the Romans were there to build it. So as we celebrate this Ramadan, let's support our government, let's support our country, let's support our president, and let's join hands. Those who are bastardizing Mzee Raila don't know what they're saying, because Mzee Raila has realized and said publicly, and at any one time, those who want to lead must accept to be led. Those who want to climb can stand on the shoulders of those who support them. And when the time changes, you must also be ready to be stepped on for others to climb. May God bless you, and may we continue loving our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker,
for those kind words and words of wisdom. We now wish also to recognize the representative of SUPKEM, Honorable Bill Okero, who is also present with us here. SUPKEM. Jamia Mosque, sorry, Jamia Mosque. Where is Honorable Bill Okero? Okay, it's already gone. It's okay. Finally, we want to single out the Clerk of the National Assembly for working very closely with this planning committee, and the achievement and the success and the victory that, of course, we've realized today can actually be traced back to his guidance. Thank you, Bwana Clerk, and may God bless you. Finally, Bwana Speaker, I requested you to request Bwana Waziri, Environment, to organize something for the parliamentarians.
Adan Duale, I was requested by the chairman, Mzee Shimba, that you organize for the love of the environment and give Parliament one tree planting day, identify a site within reach, and we will all come and join you to demonstrate our love and support for the environment as a heritage to humanity. Thank you.
I can hear some lobbying. Others are asking for Garissa. Now, may I ask Honorable Adan Kainan to come and give a vote of thanks, and then the Chief Qadi to close with a word of prayer. We are actually right on time. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, CS Duale, CS Joho, the leadership of the National Assembly, you can see Junet here and Soro, the leadership of the Senate, the clerks of Parliament, they are called the clerks of Parliament, that is pursuant to Article 126 and 127, Clerk Nyegenye and Clerk Njoroge. I'm very familiar with the structure of this institution. The Chairman of the Council of Governors, His Excellency Ahmed Abdullahi. Justice is present. Excellence is present. Members of Parliament, the Chief Qadi, the Chairman of Supreme Muslim Council. Once again, Assalamu alaikum. I think mine is just to say thank you so much for finding time. I want to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly. Sometimes I say maybe this gentleman is a naturalized Muslim. Because I think he lives, he does business, he interacts with many Muslims, and therefore he has a lot of appreciation for the Muslim culture. I also want to appreciate the young man, the young clerk, now is aged Njoroge, the clerk also for thinking out of the box. This is a great occasion. Last year was the first. Mr. Speaker, allow me, when I joined Parliament, I know right now the members of staff, members of Parliament have been introduced, both the Senate and the National Assembly. Allow me to request the members of the staff, the Muslims, who are here to stand up. If you are around, please. Mr. Speaker, when I was first elected, there was only one Muslim driver in this institution. And even the clerk then was a special DO. But things have changed. Junaid is saying, so I'm glad that you're all here. Tunasema asanteni sana. I want to also thank the Honorable Mishi, our able commissioner. Is she here or she has gone? The Honorable Mishi, thank you so much for the good job. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for they are the interface between this institution and the outside world for the good job they have done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the chairman, our chairman, and the colleagues, the members of the Muslim caucus, two things have happened. Our chairman for Iftar, the Honorable Omar, I think I want to get his attention. We have agreed, because of other dynamics, Honorable Omar will continue to function as our Muslim caucus chairman. Maybe we could all, yes. In addition, this was a temporary assignment. We have agreed, Kidogo will agree. We have agreed that he will continue to assist us as our chairman. We will discuss those other, okay. He is going to be our chairman because what really we want is the next year's Ramadan, we want to also contribute as a community. We want to also participate in the program. Just to be fair also to the other members of the institution. Mr. Speaker, I want to really thank you because we have seen it all. The prayer room here is complete with an abolition block. The prayer room here is one of the best, I think I say, maybe it's only available in Mecca, not even Jamia. I'm told a colleague here has donated. Yes, we want to thank also the carpet. We want to also thank the colleague. Mr. Speaker, finally, you have brought us together. It just shows the face of Kenya, the diversity, the rich heritage, and what we can do. So I want us to appreciate each other. I want us to continue functioning because really it means that this is an institution that has everybody. And that is the face of Kenya. So I want to say thank you. Asanteni sana. Chairman, I want to thank you. It's good, it's very difficult to have quorum, but I've realized, I've been with you for a very long time, I've realized that you are a man of immense patience. So I want to say thank you on behalf of also the group for the resilience, for the patience, and for the commitment and the determination to make sure this program actually succeeded. I want to say that I'm sure, inshallah, the one of next year will be better than this. Asanteni sana, karibuni, karibuni, asanteni sana.
The Chief Qadi for the dua.
Let's pray for our nation. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our nation, to grant us prosperity, and to bless our president and the leadership and the institutions of the Republic, and to accept our fastings. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa thana lillahi salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا الآخرة. اللهم انك عفو كريم طيب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم انك عفو كريم طيب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم انك عفو كريم طيب العفو فاعف عنا. اللهم انا نسألك الجنة ونعوذ بك من النار. اللهم لا سهل الا ما جئته سهلا وانك تجعل الحزن اذا شئت سهلا فاجعل امورنا كلها سهلا. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
We now ask the high table and the dignitaries, executives, to use this gate here, please. Then the others would follow. Let's use this gate. The one who Tafuta. Okay.